Hello, welcome to Newsroom series. I'm Dominic Iwiwu. Today we'll be focusing on the south-south region of the country. But before we get into most of the news coming in from that part of the country, let's have a look at our top stories making the rounds at the moment. President Tinubu and the Federal Executive Council have scrapped the Niger Delta Ministry and the Ministry of Sports Development. There will now be a Ministry of Regional Development to oversee all the regional development commissions, such as the Niger Delta Development Commission, the Northwest Development Commission, the Southwest Development Commission, and the Northeast Development Commission. The National Sports Commission will take over the role of the Ministry of Sports. The FEC also approved the merger of the Ministry of Tourism with the Ministry of Culture and Creative Economy. The decision was taken today at the meeting of the Federal Executive Council in Abuja. The federal government has dropped all charges against an executive of Binance Holdings, Tigran Gambaraya, on health grounds. Mr. Gambaraya has been facing money laundering trial from detention since April. The Council for the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission announced the withdrawal of charges at the Federal High Court in Abuja before Justice Emeka Nwite. The hearing, coming 2 days before the 22nd of October earlier scheduled, as the return date by the trial judge in the open court last Friday. Announcing the withdrawal of the charges, the lawyers said Mr. Gambaraya, a United States citizen, was merely an employee of Binance, whose activities he was being prosecuted for. Counsel to Mr. Gambaraya, Mark Mordi, agreed with the prosecution, saying that his client was not involved in the company's broader financial decisions. We start off in Akwa Ibom State, where the state governor, Pastor Umo Eno, has hinted on plans to create a sinking fund for an intentional savings by the state government. Governor Eno, who dropped the hint while declaring open an expanded State Executive Council session to deliberate on the 2025 appropriation estimates, said the session was dedicated to analyzing, distilling, and condensing all matters relating to the 2025 appropriation bill across all ministries and departmental agencies.
This is an enlarged session of the Akwa Ibom State Executive Council. Commissioners, permanent secretaries, heads of government agencies, and other critical stakeholders converge on the prestigious Ibom hotels and golf course to deliberate on the 2025 budget estimates. The aim is to ensure a balanced and workable budget that is in tune with the goals of the Arise agenda of the Umoina administration.
It is an expanded ESCO.
This session is described as a profoundly significant one, which bears true testament to the administration's passionate commitment to fostering the culture of transparency and accountability in the implementation of budgets.
The first, I believe, of such in the history of our state is profoundly significant and bears true testament to our passionate commitment to fostering continually the culture of transparency and accountability in the implementation, or let me say the planning and implementation of our budgets. We will critically consider the proposals contained in your respective budget presentations to ensure that your proposals are in line with the expectations of the Arise agenda, and that the implementation will go above average to reflect the yearnings of our people as clearly outlined in the Arise agenda.
It maintains that a budget cannot be effective or result-oriented if it does not have the full buy-in of the leadership of the executive arm. According to the governor, it's counterproductive for ministries and agencies to defend their budgets, relying on age-long provisions that may not reflect the executive's vision.
The budget is to be implemented by the executive. It should reflect the cardinal or focal point of the governance blueprint, in this case, our Rise agenda. We will, in the next 3 days, review and analyze your earlier proposals presented and align them with what our vision for the 2025 appropriation proposal is meant to achieve, especially in the areas of capital expenditures.
Governor vows to ensure that money spent must be such that will meet the expectations of his Arise blueprint, and express optimism that at the end of the exercise, the government will have unified focused, efficient, and lean budget estimates that will then be sent to the House of Assembly for consideration and eventual approval.
This session, the first, I believe.
The governor of Bayelsa State, Senator Diri, has reaffirmed the state's commitments to collaborating with the Defense Headquarters Joint Monitoring Team to combat crude oil theft and pipeline vandalism. Governor Diri made this statement during a courtesy visit by the Joint Monitoring Team, led by Major General Jamil Jimo, to Government House. The team sought the support of the Bayelsa State government to enhance their efforts in tackling oil theft and securing critical oil infrastructure across the state. To environmental matters now, the Hydrocarbon Pollution Remediation Project, HYPREP, says it is continuing its efforts to ensure alternative means to conflict resolution between communities and groups in Ogoniland. This, they say, is crucial to the success of the cleanup and restoration projects, as fostering a peaceful environment is essential. This is coming from the project coordinator of HYPREP, Professor Zenebari Zabe. He was speaking at a stakeholder forum organized by HYPREP with the theme, The Mechanism for Alternative Dispute Resolution and Peace Building Techniques Workshop for Ogoni traditional rulers and other key stakeholders. Our correspondent, Deborah Agbalama, now reports.
The session brings together traditional rulers, community heads, and other key stakeholders. The aim is to explore alternative ways of resolving conflicts and community disputes in Ogoniland. Organized quarterly by the Hydrocarbon Pollution Remediation Project, HYPREP, the forum is essential for the fostering of peace. HYPREP's project coordinator cites unresolved wounds and conflicts as major hindrances to progress.
It is time for peace in Ogoniland. We can no longer afford the divisions, conflicts, and misunderstandings that have held us back. The federal government through HYPREP is delivering on its promises as is visible and ongoing in your communities. And the progress we are witnesses across various thematic areas and sites is a testament to that commitment. But peace and development are two sides of the same coin. For HYPREP's efforts to succeed, we need your continued cooperation and leadership.
There appears to be a consensus here, the need for people of Ogoni to support HYPREP's efforts.
You are the only institution, the traditional rulers, that can give us anything resembling exercise of authority that can save lives.
People have to be a bit patient, and then the management have to also be open to people to discuss. Like people that have already been depressed, people with ordinary going to make a lot of noise and going to create a lot of anger. But the people have to be patient with the PC and the management of HYPREP. That I am sure that they are going to deliver on their mandate.
Meanwhile, the project coordinator of HYPREP, while speaking with journalists at the event, responds to recent allegations by some quarters concerning projects not having direct bearing on Ogonis, saying HYPREP has gone beyond the requirements of UNEP to ameliorate the sufferings in Ogoniland. He points out new initiatives, including a postgraduate scholarship scheme aimed at building the capacity of young Ogoni graduates, and explains that the project engages about 7,000 Ogoni youths.
Very soon, the selection process will be concluded, and the scholarship will be given to 300 postgraduate students from Ogoni. Our mandate is very clear. It's to implement the recommendations of the UNEP report. And our mandate is well defined in the gazette that established HYPREP. We are there to remediate oil polluted lands and wetlands in Ogoniland. We are doing it. Nobody can dispute that. We are building the Center of Excellence for Environmental Restoration. It's one of the recommendations of the UNEP report. And that center also has the Integrated Soil Contaminated Management Center that UNEP recommended. We are constructing it. We are past 70%.
Indeed, there have been pockets of conflicts of interest and communal issues within Ogoniland, and HYPREP believes that forums like this are key components of broader efforts to not only heal the environment, but also uplift the Ogoni people economically. Deborah Agbalama, Channels Television News.
The governor of Enugu State, Godwin Obaseki, has asked residents in the identified flood-prone communities to relocate in time before the next wave of floods hit the state as predicted by the Nigerian Meteorological Agency (NIMET). The Edo Commissioner for Security and Public Safety, Kingsley Uwagbale, stated this during a press briefing in Benin City, the Edo State capital. He disclosed that the state government has made provisions for relief materials for residents who are relocating to the internally displaced persons camps, which have been set up in different locations within the state.
Are we done?
I speak on behalf of His Excellency the Governor of Edo State, Governor Obaseki. He has asked us to address the people of Edo State we've been planning for the flood, we've been aware of the flood is here now. And essentially he wants all the people in the exposed regions of the state, Edo North, Isako East, Isako Central, East and South, East, Ubiaja and Ilushi areas, the flood is coming. He wants them to locate to the IDP camps. We've already prepared for them. And then he has also, he had a charge with the chairman of these local governments and mobilize them, to start the process. I think this year's will be a bit elevated than the previous year's flood. It may just be like what we had like 4 or 5 years ago, but we think that with the level of plans we have, if we evacuate on time, if we move people on time, and if we're able to channel the pathway, there's the flood paths, and that flood path is a natural path. Doesn't matter. So once you have buildings on them, it's going to absorb them. So we're thinking that so far so good in Edo State, we've not so much really blocked our flood path like that. It will come in from the River Niger, from Elushi axis, go through the Agerebode axis and all that. If we don't have much rains supporting the movement, then we should be good. But if rains come in side by side with the flood movement, it's going to be very challenging. But we're thinking about it. We're planning internally. We have NEMA is with us, Red Cross is with us, the police with us, the various people, they are all working. We've been working together in the last couple of years, and we are hoping that we can still work together to help our people.
As citizens and candidates of various political parties prepare for the upcoming local government elections, the Cross River State government has assured that the electoral process will be conducted in a free and fair manner. It has been emphasized that regardless of the election results, they should be accepted in good faith as it is not a matter of life and death. Speaking in an interview in Calabar, the Cross River State capital, the Chief of Staff to the Governor, Emmanuel Uromba, stated that Governor Otu's administration is committed to working with whoever emerges as the winner. He also expressed that the administration will oversee that the elections in all 18 local government areas are conducted transparently.
For me, the process is a good one. It's encouraging, and I just urge that Cross Riverians should embrace the process and don't make it a do or die affair, but rather just go cast your vote, kind of your choice. At the end of the day, whoever emerges is a Cross Riverian, and so that's what we believe. Our governor has set the space that his government is inclusive, not sentimental. So I believe at the local government level also, should any other party emerges, it's going to be a Cross River State affairs. So everybody will be carried along.
Welcome back. We'll bring you more on that Bayelsa story as the Joint Monitoring Team, which is tasked with ensuring the protection of oil facilities in the Niger Delta, aims to improve oil production by curbing illegal activities in the region. In line with this objective, they are seeking the full cooperation of the Bayelsa State government to ensure the success of their mission.
I involved the retired Director General of DSS, who is also from this state, who is my honorary advisor on security, and the security coordinator to work out something so that at the end of the day, from our own end, we should be able to also tackle these issues that have been a problem and a challenge to us over the years. We also invited our local government council chairman, and gave them marching orders because they are the closest to all the pipelines that are crisscrossing. There is no local government that oil bunkering is going on that the local government chairman will not know. If the chairman does not know, then he's not capable of being a council chairman. And so we have actually put some measures in place. That's the report I'm trying to give. As a state, we have put some measures in place. We have also tried to see how we can reorientate and educate our people.
In this state is a past, especially visitors. So, firstly,
The joint monitoring team, which is tasked with ensuring the protection of oil facilities in the Niger Delta, paid a courtesy visit to the governor.
This visit presents an opportunity for the team to address the governor and commend the state's effort in ensuring the effective implementation of the team's objective. Therefore, it is only fitting that we pay a courtesy visit to His Excellency and acknowledge the efforts being made towards the development and sustainability of this vital sector.
Over in Rivers State, the Judicial Commission of Inquiry set up by Governor Sim Fubara of Rivers State to investigate the arson, shootings and reported killings during the October 7 crisis in the state has commenced a tour of the affected local government areas. This development marks the beginning of their on-the-spot assessments ahead of their formal seating.
With 1 month to submit its findings, the Rivers State Judicial Commission of Inquiry, set up to investigate the October 7 attacks on several local government areas, is on an assessment tour of the areas to see the damage and get oral accounts from the leaders. Its first stop is Bori, headquarters of Kana local government area, where the commission's chairperson emphasizes the need for thorough assessment of the communities that suffered destruction.
I'm sure if not this opportunity, we would not have actually gotten to know the extent of the damage, because most of it they only captured outside, but we went into these offices and saw more than what we thought the damage.
The issues reported to the commission is the killing of a councillor's father, as well as destruction and looting of council properties.
We came to at least assess the council. When we got here, discovered that they have broken into the place and looted everything you can see, even curtains.
Next, the commission members visit Eleme, the council chairman, Brain Gokpa, and a former ambassador to the Netherlands, Orji Ngofa, accompany the team to assess the damage to buildings within the council premises. In Ikwere local government area, a recently remodeled complex is in ruins. Its walls are charred and tiles ripped out. A member of the commission and former vice-chancellor of the Rivers State University, who had previously served as an administrator in this area, condemns the damage to the legacy building.
I can say I'm feeling bad already. My father worked here. I also worked here. I was a chair when here was built in the 1960s. When I came here, it was still intact. All those who built it are gone. So it's sad that anybody can conceptualize destroying it.
The tour is concluded with a visit to Emoha local government area, where a gatehouse is the most affected, and Obiakpo, where the council chairman explains efforts to restore looted property.
Well, a lot of the divisions were looted and other things, so but we are seeing how we're going to put it in order.
The commission's chairman gives a general overview of their assessment and the next line of action.
Well, all of this would help us to look into the memoranda objectively or positively, if I put it that way, to do our work. And then at the end of the day, we are going to make a recommendation which we know that the government is going to address.
He promises a fair process that will shed light on the event of October the 7th, 2024, and offers recommendations for government action.
Still in River State, the government says the successful hosting of the 50th anniversary of the Commonwealth Youth Programs in Port Harcourt, the state capital, is a testament to the peaceful ambience of the state. Governor Simone Alai Fubara was speaking in Port Harcourt during an event put together to mark the 50 years anniversary of the Commonwealth Youth Programs and the 2023-2024 Year of the Youths. The governor, who was represented by the State Commissioner for Youths, Chisom Agbali, says despite the political crisis, the oil-rich state is peaceful and attracting local and international investments.
Members of the diplomatic community, heads of international institutions, political, religious and traditional rulers, including the Olu of Warri and the Minister of State for Youth, Ayodele Olawande, as well as youths, gather at the Ecumenical Center in Port Harcourt, the River State capital, for the 50th anniversary of the Commonwealth Youth Programs aimed at supporting the development and empowerment of young people across the 56 member countries of the Commonwealth. The convener of the program and Commonwealth Youth Ambassador, Uwefa Aganaba, provides an insight into the choice of Port Harcourt for the program.
Nigeria is a very peculiar, is in a very peculiar state. Some would say a very worrisome state. Recently in the news, you would tell that the narratives have not been so good. But then what does this tell us? We need to change the narrative. We need to tell our story. We need to project the beauties of this life.
Governor Simone Alai Fubara is represented at the event by the Commissioner for Youths, and his message is simple: appreciation for the choice of the state capital as host.
Against the backdrop of what is shown on the pages of newspapers, social media, and television, River State is peaceful. And all this, as a youth ministry, is encapsulated in our preparedness plan for River State paradigm, from unemployability to resourcefulness. And I tell you today, we are creating a natural succession. Like we know, life is a natural succession. All the speakers have spoken, they have pointed out that we should create the space for the youth. That is what the governor of River State is doing.
The conversation begins as speakers provide local context on the need to harness youth potentials and creativity for rapid industrial development in the Commonwealth nations.
The quality of education, it's not about the number of people finishing from schools, the quality of education they get. It also needs changes in the curriculum, because the curriculum we still teach are outdated. We live in a world where no one cares about their grades. That is why I said we should abolish grades.
It is our responsibility as the young people. The elders have been pleading to us, have been talking to us. What is our responsibility? To learn, be patient, think, re-engineer our head to live a meaningful and prosperous life.
For former President Goodluck Jonathan, who is represented by Nigeria's former ambassador for Scandinavian countries, youths have the mental capability to tackle the socio-economic challenges facing the country.
In Nigeria as a country, our great future lies with our young people. Our hope is our young people. And that is why the calls on young people to continue to remain steadfast. Your youthfulness, your energy, your creativity, your versatility, and all your energy is greatly appreciated. And as much as possible, try to take advantage of everything that the various governments, both at federal level and state levels, are doing to promote youth inclusiveness and the centrality of youth in national development.
Organizers hope that conversations like these will continue to hold across different fora to ignite the desired social, economic, and political growth within Commonwealth communities.
Female youths in Delta State have been encouraged to remain focused in the pursuit of life and career goals. This message was delivered during the inaugural Power of Conference organized by the Delta State government through the Office of the State's Female Youth Development. Held at the Delta State Government House, the event is aimed at equipping young women with essential tools for excelling in leadership, governance, politics, and personal development.
Women from all walks of life converge on the Unity Hall, Delta State Government House, Asaba, for a conference tagged The Power of Her. It is a collaboration between the Delta State Government and the Motivating African Youth Initiative, which seeks to address gender disparities, highlight the crucial role of young women in politics and leadership in order to drive societal change.
There's so much that we do in a day for us not to be conscious of time. So you must learn how to manage your time and also prioritizing the things that are important. You cannot do everything. You cannot be everywhere. So to have a proper work-life balance, you need to prioritize what is important to you.
You can be a powerful woman in politics and in governance. Are you hearing me? Let me say it again in case you're not here. You can be a powerful woman, not just a woman, a powerful woman in politics and governance.
The event also features panel discussions where distinguished women tell their success stories, while the organizers harp on plans to sustain the program to empower more women.
And through the Power of our conference, which I hope by the grace of God will not just happen once only this year, it will be something we'll be doing continuously by the grace of God. We will try to see how we can elevate the life of 1,000 young women in development, in politics, and in governance, definitely.
The First Lady of Delta State, represented by the wife of the Chief of Staff to Governor Borowori, says that women must always support each other to rise to the top.
We are politicians. Those women who are in politics never pull the other down. Rather pull the others. Pull anybody that is down, bring them up so that you can work together in synergy. And then you see that Delta State is a beneficiary of this particular program. And you know, even the governors, the more agenda, meaningful development, and all of those programs that he has put in place, his more agenda program is working perfectly as it has to do with the youth and women in particular.
The takeaway for women is the importance of time management, setting priorities right, and the boldness to venture into political terrain to bring about the much-needed societal change.
And that's it on this edition of Newsroom series. I'm Dominic Iwiu. Stay safe.